This is the Preston HU4.
Cinema 5D at Cine Gear 2019 is brought to you by Blackmagic Design, creating amazing solutions for film, post-production, and television. Tilta, arm your camera. Fomex, devoted to remarkable light. And Laowa, unique cinema and photography lenses.
Hello everyone, Graham Mailer-Sheldon here from cinema5d.com. We're here at Cine Gear 2019. I'm in the Preston booth with none other than Howard Preston from Preston. So I understand that Howard, you have a new hand unit called the HU4. So what are some of the feature sets of the new hand unit?
Well, the best thing is to show you all pointed towards camera. So obviously the headline feature is we got a huge, it's about a 4.8-inch display. It's a touch display, and the idea was to simplify and also make much more quickly the settings of the unit. So the HU4 is dominated by its large touch screen, and the idea is that you can change, say, the size of the focus indications. You can mix. This is a light ranger setting. It's not present at the moment. If it is present, you can see both the light ranger and the focus knob setting here. This shows you focus hours and zoom scales. Because we calibrate the focus hours and zoom, the scales show you exactly the minimum and maximum distances, and also the minimum and maximum T-stops for the lens. You can see the limits that are set. You can expand the scale like this, or you can contract it like that. You can go through the menu kind of instantaneously because it's so fast. So for example, we have a camera menu. This is the Sony Venice camera menu, which will have an operation in a few weeks. So you can control, at the present time, Sony Venice camera, and also the Red series of cameras. Going back to our main menu, you can pick your lenses as we usually do. So you can have your lens list, and you can populate it with lenses of your choice. This now holds over 1,000 lenses in its library. The predecessor held 256, but we realized that people are filling up their libraries, so now you can hold 4 times as many lenses. If you have one of our updater units, you can plug it into the serial port, and that allows you to update software. But even more importantly, you can actually download all of the lens library, put it on a PC or a Mac, edit it, and then upload it to either yourself or to your friends. You can email the information to people so they can share lenses. You can share lenses in a community if you like. For example, if you want to go from manual to autofocus, now your finger's right here where it belongs on the grip. So you can just, without moving it, you can go between manual and autofocus when it's called for. Another thing is you can change the autofocus zone. So on a monitor, the autofocus zone is represented by a red rectangle. The zoom control can be allocated to either zoom, or in this case, you can move the autofocus zone by just using the joystick, pressing it left and right. You can make the autofocus zone bigger and smaller by just pushing the joystick up and down. So without moving your hand off the grip, you can do all the most important customization, if you will, of light ranger operation. This knob here is the joystick speed or sensitivity, if you will. So if you want to move it across, if you want to move the autofocus function across frame quickly, you just increase the sensitivity as you will.
Now, I've had a bit of a love and hate relationship with touchscreens in the past, and I think people out there might be interested. How well does the touchscreen functionality hold up in extreme weather and in cold environments, perhaps?
Yeah, great question. So in terms of like wet weather, that would be normally the most difficult situation. So we tested it by pouring water over it. It works perfectly. It's not affected by that at all. Actually, the touchscreen makes it easy to seal because this is sealed with epoxy across its whole surface. So the whole thing is splash-proof. There's gaskets everywhere to prevent water intrusion. The slider is a magnetic slider, so there's no opening in the housing at all for that. So you have, like a typical system we'd like to sell. It's very robust, and we paid a lot of attention to using it in difficult weather conditions as well.
So Howard, tell me about how much control do you get of the Light Ranger with this hand unit?
Oh, so Light Ranger is used in 2 ways. Primarily, it's used as a focus assist. So by that I mean the focus assistant can control and choreograph the speed of focus according to the dramatic requirements of the scene. So at a certain point in a scene, you might have a walk-in where the depth of field is very shallow, for example. And in that case, if you don't want the focus to buzz, you could just hit the button in back and it snaps into autofocus mode. And then you can go back when it's time to then choreograph it, or if you want to do a two-shot and move focus over to a second character, you can make that move, you know, in accordance with the requirements. You don't want it to pop focus, you know, you don't want it to look mechanical, you want to be able to control it. So this is part of the reason we change the ergonomics to make that as convenient, as natural as possible. So that's really one of the most important changes from its predecessor.
And then how many focus points, just to reiterate, can you calibrate?
Sure. It uses the same 10 focus points as its predecessor, so that basically the files that you generated with the Hand Unit 3, this predecessor, can be used with the new Hand Unit 4. You can upload them.
For those of you out there who have the previous Preston Hand Units, do you think this would be a good upgrade for them? Do you have any sort of upgrade path? Do you think if they have a previous generation, they might be okay sticking with it? I mean, one of the great things about your products are they work for a long time. I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so that's one of the most important things we do, you know, in terms of our business model. We want people to stay in the system, so we want everything to be as backwards compatible as we possibly can make it. So again, this system, even though it's new, will work with any of the MDR3s or MDR4s on the market, of course. So that's a continuing interest of ours.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Howard. Enjoy the rest of your Cine Gear.
Thanks very much. Pleasure.
Thanks, everyone. Stay tuned to cinema5d.com for more continuing coverage here at Cine Gear 2019.